basketball when they've added Buddy Hield and replaced Clay. Buddy Hield is actually playing defense for like one of the first times in his career. He has
Buddy Hield.
Dude, he has the motivation to play defense now, and he's always shot the ball so damn well. So I think that it's going to be – I think that addition's a lot bigger than what people give anything credit for. Yeah. My pick tonight is Warriors. I think they're going to hand Cleveland the first losses.
Good morning, brokers and basketball. How we doing, gents?
What's going on, boys? How's it going?
How we doing, fellas? Happy Friday.
This is it. So I know we had stuff I sent out, but the thing I want to chat about first is looks like Oklahoma City, man, they held court last night against the Cavs.
Man, that was an interesting one. I'll be frank, I didn't watch the whole game. I didn't have time, but I watched some of the highlights. And yeah, I didn't think Oklahoma City was going to beat them by 20 points. Like that was kind of shocking.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the game, so I gotta look at the box score. But yeah, man, just regular season. So much time left to kind of see how these teams keep panning out. But OKC is just, yeah, they are gonna be up there for sure for a long time too.
Yeah. They're just, well, both teams are just built to, Trey decided to join us. He's raising his hands. There we go. Welcome, Trey.
There he is.
Trey.
What's up, fellas?
What up, Trey?
I was on a sales call. You know how it goes. I had to close that thing out. So,
Yep. Is
No
that a
worries.
McDuffie jersey?
I'm sorry?
Is that a McDuffie jersey there?
You better believe it's a McDuffie jersey. I mean, let's go. Let's go.
I hate that I even know that that's who that is.
Right.
Well, but because he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. I mean, he's like probably, and he did. Listen, let me just tell you something. We're going to go talk basketball, but they snubbed him on the Pro Bowl or the All Pro. They snubbed Mahomes on All Pro, Travis Kelce. None of them got it this year. Like, just a little more fuel to fire, just a little more fuel, whatever. We're all good.
I'm not going to spark that debate, but it's really like, how many All-Pro quarterbacks can there be?
I think there's 2 or 3. So the AFC is loaded.
Really,
I will give you that.
I was going to say it's tough for him to be All-Pro, man. And at the end of the day, the ring's going to matter more.
If you win 15 games with the roster he had throughout the year and all the injuries,
come on, Trey. You're making a case for Rex Grossman back in the day. We can't be doing that. That's not. No.
Fair enough. Although if you ever put Rex Grossman and Patrick Mahomes in the same sentence again, I will punch you right in the mouth.
I'm not doing that. But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, and it's a fair comparison. Jesus. That's fine. It's fine. All right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we were chatting about the big game last night, Oklahoma City. Put into the Cavs, 20-point win. They're
that's playoff preview, baby. Playoff preview. I love those games, man. Like you can just see it coming down. Like that'd be a good final.
Yeah.
So Donovan Mitchell. It looks like Donovan Mitchell just had a really bad game. He went.
And he have a bad game, or did he have a bad game, or did OKC lock him up? And that's just what he is against.
For you guys to share.
I didn't watch the game. So. I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty. None of us watched it. So.
Just a bunch of fakes over here.
Yeah.
Bunch of box score watchers.
Yeah. I actually had one night off of nothing. So it was like just kind of hung out. And you know how it is. Sometimes it's just good to not have the TV on. And
listen, I'll just tell you this. Give me a couple more weeks here and get this stuff past us, and then I've got a full focus on NBA because there's nothing else to really think about. Because I'm watching like Chiefs documentaries, the franchise. It's so good. I'm watching like a lot of just football stuff, just backstory, some of these Hard Knocks things. Like it's got my attention right now. So I need a couple more weeks, then I'll be a little more devoted.
That's fair.
Understandable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got high school basketball, obviously, and trying to get kid recruited and stuff. So that's my focus too. And he's got a ankle, so he's going to be out for a few weeks. So that kind of sucks. We start league Tuesday, or Wednesday, I mean. But he's got 2 games this week and he'll miss. And it's always some stupid play, right? He inbounds the ball. His teammate throws it back to him, in the backcourt, not seeing the defender right in front of him. In between them, Steele tries to block the shot, steps on the guy's foot when he goes up and turned it pretty bad. But I'm sure we've all turned our ankles pretty good. It's a good one. So
He needs to get on that Patrick Mahomes, mobility, flexibility system that he does. Where he just does weird stretches all the time, and then he's just loose. Yeah. It's like he has a high ankle sprain. He's back the next week and he plays. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mahomes has a little bit more resources than.
Come on, Kale. You want your son to play D1? Come on, let's go.
Yeah. He was at his PT yesterday, so he came home last night limping pretty good because he did work on all that mobility stuff, and luckily we have the medical grade compression socks that he's now wearing, so that'll help just keep the swelling down. But
dude, man, we had none of that back in the day. We had none of that.
I know.
All right, I'm not gonna talk old. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Ice in the bucket kind of stuff. Is that what we were doing?
That's about all we got.
He's doing that
tape
too.
It up. More tape.
Yeah.
More tape.
More tape, definitely.
Tape and dirt, and you're good.
Yeah. More tape.
All right, I got to bring up the dreaded year-to-date standings.
Where are we at, man?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Hey, Josh, you're tied with me, buddy. It's okay. We're doing pretty bad.
Shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Tommy, I'm good with that because I did miss that week. So
It's pretty bad.
I just wanted to catch
bad
one
for
of
me.
you.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
the
all
fact
right.
you missed a
You'll
week
miss
and you're still competitive. I mean, that does say something. Let's just
Yeah, I'm
Dang, Trey is running away with this thing though.
7 games. I don't know. He
He
just
is.
takes one bad week. That's all it takes.
It is.
It's just steady,
Right.
gentlemen. It's just steady. It's just
He's just
slow and
betting
steady,
all the
man.
favorites. That's all he's doing. He's like, I'm just doing cruise control. I'm not going to give them anything. These guys are going to have to get crazy.
Hey,
to catch
I
me.
do have a system. Now I can't reveal that system till this is over, but I do have a system, and right now it's working pretty well. So
It's working.
I've got certain stats and certain measures that I look at specifically that I'm sticking with right now, and I can't really reveal that right now. But
I understand,
The
Trey.
plan is
you're
working.
taking the picks, putting them into Chat GPT, and say who's going to win.
Yeah.
Oh,
now that would be cool. I didn't even think about that. That's actually I'm going to do that.
Idea.
I'm doing that next week to see what happens. But then we'll all have I wonder if we'll get similar results. That could be interesting. If we all did Chat
I'll do
GPT for
it.
1 week and just see what the results are.
Oh no.
Worst case scenario, we all get the same picks and nothing changes. And then best case, somebody's got smarter Chat GPT than someone else.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just put the
That
games
could
for
be
this
interesting.
week in Chat GPT. We'll see what they do.
Who's going to
What
win?
week,
That's
I got to do the.
that's going to make you
weekly-
second guess everything.
And you just gotta rock with it, you know.
I will say this, Tommy. I did go against my never picking Chicago recently because they were playing such horrible teams. I'm like, there's much better chance. Like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to doing that. So I have strayed a little bit from my original plan, but like I said, it's working. So
I feel that. I have also strayed from my original plan. And the Bulls are not getting picked every game because
smart.
fun,
See, I think
guys.
we're both getting wiser as the time goes on. That's right.
Yep.
Well, you guys can see none of us actually won the week. Nerf came through with his second win of the season.
Dang, Nerf's back.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to reach out to him. So maybe he's tuning in, but I don't know.
So this is why we have the honorary 3 balls logo up just for one more week.
Yep.
I like it. One more week.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you're the season leader, so I mean,
That's right.
I gotta keep that going. So
Nerf is sneaky good though, man. Like if he were around more often, we might all be in trouble.
I know.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, 19-4 is a pretty solid week.
I mean, he's got 118, and I think he's missed 2 weeks. So I mean, like I know he's behind, maybe 3 weeks even. I think he might have missed 3 weeks. I mean, he's like you think about that, he's 32 games back, but he missed 3 weeks. That's he'd be right there if he was here. I feel like he missed 3 weeks. I think he came late.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know.
we all missed one by default, right? We all missed one. So
Yeah,
if he just missed 2, then he's out.
yeah. So right on. Cool.
I'm also excited. I'm also excited about the difference in tiebreakers. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I started to get my act together, and the difference in tiebreakers is getting
after that first week.
The first week was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I was in 1980s mode. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
But we got that figured out now.
What is
So
Oh, I was like, okay, because Josh missed a week, so that's probably why his is so high. I was like, damn, why is he so far off? Yeah, okay. So you got 2 hurdles to climb, Josh.
I know, man. It's a long season though. We got the back half coming up, and yeah, it'll also be good like when football's not on as much, because that's kind of my weekend thing normally over the basketball, at least right now. But after All-Star break, it ramps up. Players start getting into it. Hopefully they're not sitting out as much and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, we only got 7 games left in football, so
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, Trey's leading. So the other thing I put in there is what a stinker that the Nets put out, man. 126-67 they lost. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Okay, let me just ask this question. If one of us got put on the Nets for one game, all right, and got to play 20 minutes, we'd score more than that, more points than that. I think we'd still score more points than that.
Yeah, they were like 30% for the game as an NBA team. I looked at the stats of that game. I'm like 30%. I mean, even
that reminds me of the first half of that Phoenix game, that Phoenix Clippers game last year, Josh. That reminds me of that first half.
Bad, man. They scored like 6 points in the first quarter.
It was brutal. It was brutal.
You got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and you put up 6 points in one quarter.
We paid like $75 for that game or something. Got nothing. Oh man, that was a brutal one.
I know.
Yeah, those games are painful. Those are the ones you just let it go.
Wow. So Terrible. They lost to the Clippers 126-67. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The second half was 68-32.
Like how is this possible?
That's wild. That's a wild score.
That's just perfect storm of the team being bad. But man, there's so many names on this roster, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who a lot of these guys are.
For 30% from the floor.
For Brooklyn.
30% from the floor. Wow.
Well, and they scored 132 on Tuesday night, so it's like,
right? Yeah, it's typical NBA. Warriors are also kind of known for that. That when they get beat, get beat down, by 30.
Not like that.
Yeah, not by.
That's almost doubled up. That's almost doubled up. That's wild.
Wow. You got to have some pride. You got to have some pride after a minute, with that kind of stuff.
So I don't know if you guys are looking at the stats, but 30% from overall field goal, 18% from 3-point, and 54% from the free throw line. So it's like they weren't even hitting their freebies. They were 12
shooting left-handed. They were trying something new.
Right.
I bet. Listen, I'll just say this. I bet if every one of them played with their non-dominant hand for a game, they'd score more points than that. I would bet that.
A Larry Bird game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 5 for 20 from 3, that's fine. That happens. You're going to have a game at 17%. You're going to have a game at 50%. Those things happen, right? But to be 25 for 83 overall, I mean, that means that they were 20 for 50. I don't know, 55, 20 for 55 or something like that from 2 points. But that's pretty brutal. Dude, when you can go in and get dunked all the time in the NBA, like what are you doing?
There's a guy on the Nets, Tyrese Martin, went 3 of 16, 2 of 8 from 3, ended with at a minus 56. I highly believe that we could get on an NBA roster and end up better than minus 56.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a bet I would take even at my age. I would be like,
Can we get somebody to make these bets happen? We got to make this possible. This has to happen.
Whew.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like a reality show, right? Average guy gets on an NBA roster or something like that.
Call it average show.
Yeah,
average to be minus 56.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How many minutes did he play? 20? Is that what you said?
37. Which is a lot.
So he played most of the game.
But I mean, come on,
more than anybody on the team.
Obviously, Tyrese is not guarding people, and he's just letting people blow by him. So
he's not guarding. He's not shooting. He got the most minutes.
He shot. He just missed. He went 3 of 16.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not making. I'm saying he's not making. He's not guarding. He's not making buckets, and he got the most minutes. Not shooting well.
If I was getting,
he shot the ball
close to minus 50, I just take my 6th foul and just be done and be like, I won.
Yeah, exactly. Get it done.
He only had 3 fouls. He wasn't even really in the game. Wasn't doing anything. I mean, That's pretty wild.
So he wasn't playing defense
Tyrese
at
Martin,
all.
we're calling you out, man. Tyrese Martin, we need you to change the way you're showing up in life, dude. Like this isn't. It's not acceptable.
That's shocking.
Yeah, 4 dudes in the freight industry calling out an NBA player. It's great, right?
I know, man. Hopefully Tyrese Martin never gets a hold
They
of
can go
this.
viral. Come on, let's go.
I know, right?
Oh, dude, totally. I'd love for him to get a hold of this. That'd be great.
Yeah, we should talk to him.
Yeah,
It'd be like I'd be looking at my YouTube page and be like, what's going on? Oh, Tyrese got a hold of it. It's all pissed off.
Tyrese is in the comments.
Are we going to talk? Let's go. Are we going to talk about the Celtics and the Rockets? Both are kind of going through a little bit of a mediocre stretch. They're still in second, but they haven't been sharp in the last 10. They've been okay, but not terribly sharp. A lot of the top teams that way: 6-4, Knicks 5-5, Bucks 6-4 in the last 10, Orlando 4-6. Is it that time of the season where people are starting to get a little tired, but it's not near the end, so it's not exciting yet? Is that what's happening? Or are some of the bottom teams starting? Like Raptors won 2 in a row. Are some of the bottom teams starting to play better? The Pelicans won 2 in a row.
Wow, that's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
That is a miracle. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty wild.
7-3 in their last 10. They're kind of playing a lot better.
Yeah, some teams trending. Pacers 8-2. Thunder though 9-1 in the last 10. Like they are. I feel like they're Thunder and Cleveland are just far and away, I think, the best teams in the league, and that'd be a really fun final.
Yeah. And then you got the Kings. They're 8-2 in the last 10. I mean, they got Doug Christie as coach, and which I don't know. You just get that bump a lot of times when you fire a guy midseason. It doesn't necessarily mean they're better. They're just playing with more passion, new voice. So, kind of crazy. But
I didn't even know Doug Christie was the coach there now.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem like they've gone on a hot streak ever since. I mean, I keep seeing wins in the column for those guys ever since. I've been picking them.
Yeah. Well, it's not hard to see who you pick after the fact. It's just not before.
Yeah.
So,
I have picked them and I have not picked them. It's part of the system. I've gone both ways.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So the most important thing, the Suns have a new player. And I was looking, I didn't see him in the box score though last night or the night before.
No, he probably wasn't there quite yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Wait, who is it? I don't know. I haven't kept up with this. Who is it?
Nick Richards from Charlotte Center. I mean, you're probably not going to know who he is unless you're a Charlotte fan.
No, I will say this: the Charlotte announcers are the best in the NBA. I'm just going to throw that out there, but I don't know much about Nick Richards. Do a little research here.
Yeah, so
I think he went to Alabama.
He's been pretty decent. My question with that is, does it make the Suns better? Because they got Mason Plumlee, Nurkic, that has been garbage. Tommy's a devout no. It does not make them better.
I mean, they won. They beat the Wizards by 7 points when Kevin Durant and Devin Booker put up 60 points.
Yeah,
a 7-point win over the Wizards. The 6-33 Wizards. They won by 7.
Man, don't hate on Jordan Poole now. Jordan Poole's coming back.
He's coming back. He's making that comeback, man.
I think Richards is a better, younger version of Mason Plumlee. So as long as he fits in the chemistry, he probably is going to be an addition to the team.
I don't know, man. Guess. I mean, it's just it's so tough because so much of the NBA is just getting hot at the right time, and obviously closer towards the end of the year, and it's still, we're 4 or 5 months away from playoffs right now. But I mean, they are in the 10 spot, so they're in the play-in, Tommy. And like 2-3 more wins in a row, they could be in the 6th spot. If the Lakers just
it's packed right there. Yeah,
it's gonna twist and turn and all that kind of stuff. I mean, shoot, Sacramento's in the mix, and it seemed like
they're one good week away from being in the 6th spot. They're one good week away, like putting 3 or 4 games together, a good stretch.
Yeah, or a bad week from being in the 13th spot again. So who knows?
Yeah, exactly. See what their schedule looks like. See what they get. So, but
yeah.
And then the interesting thing too about that is the Hornets have actually been, pretty active in the last couple of years. or last year really on trades and stockpiling some picks. So, are they on a race to the bottom to get Cooper Flagg? That'd be kind of cool. He's playing at Duke.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a heck of a trio though, with LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and Cooper Flagg. I mean, I would watch that.
That would be fun.
It'd be good. Man, I just honestly, I'm gonna say this. I just think Charlotte's draft strategy's always been terrible. They love picking up everybody from Duke and North Carolina just because they're the local boys, and they think that they're always going to pan out. And I like Duke. I always like the players that come from Duke, but it clearly has just not worked out for them.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this started back when Jordan took over the Hornets and started getting in the, and I think he drafted Kwame Brown, started with some others, like just some misses along the
drafted Kobe, traded him.
Listen, great. Yeah, come on. The great players are rarely make a great coach or a great front office. Rarely does that ever work out. And they just had a bad stretch since Jordan took over. I love Jordan. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. It's hard to let go of your ego when you were such a dominant player, and think, except for, one guy that I think has done amazing in that is Danny Ainge,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh yeah.
He did it in Boston. I know quite haven't seen it in Utah yet.
But we're calling Danny Ainge a great player. He was a good player. He was a role player. He did a great job. But he wasn't Larry Bird. He wasn't the star of that Celtics team. He wasn't the star of the Trailblazers. He's a great role player. He's Steve Kerr. Role player. The great player.
Steve Kerr. I mean, he's probably the best athlete that ever came out of Oregon. Because he was
I'm not saying he wasn't good. I'm just saying we're not putting him on the same levels Jordan and Bird in terms of that conversation.
But what he had to do, because he was such a great player in high school and college, that he did have to adjust his game, and so he's able to do that earlier. And so maybe that's why
it's great at BYU. That's for sure.
But
those players, I think the role players and the players that aren't the top dogs are often the ones who are the best coaches and GMs, like Steve Kerr and people that have Phil Jackson was a role player for the Knicks. He wasn't the best player, but he's a good player and he understood the game. I think those people tend to think about basketball differently because they had to accommodate. It wasn't just that they were the best player talent wise or work ethic wise or whatever. So, yeah,
totally agree on that.
I agree.
Yeah. So you guys stay in tune with the latest Jimmy Butler news. I mean, that thing is about ready to blow up. It feels like.
Yeah,
it's just swelling. Yeah. Can we just make a decision at this point?
I know.
Yeah.
Can we just appreciate the toxicity that Jimmy Butler likes to bring to a team when they just decide that they're not going to bend their knee to him? He just he makes that team so incredibly toxic and bad to be around. He gets his way every time. He did it in Chicago. He did it in Minnesota.
Yep.
He did it in Philly. He's doing it in Miami. I fucking love Jimmy Butler. Excuse my language.
I know.
He's a dog. He's a dog. Yeah. That's for sure.
I have some weird inclination that he's going to end up, and I feel like this is just the perfect spot for him, but back in Philly. It just seems like that's going to be exactly what happens. I really hope it doesn't, but
I don't know,
because I think he can be a really good value to some of these kind of younger teams and whatnot. But man, yeah, I loved when Jimmy made his run, whatever it was, a couple years ago to the play. I mean, it was just incredible to watch. The dude literally 2x'd his game from regular season to playoffs. We've not really seen that. And so you're almost just okay, do we even care about what Jimmy Butler does in the regular season now at this point? Because playoffs, it's a whole different level for him. But yeah, man, it is pretty annoying. You are killing the culture. But Pat Riley just needs to get rid of him. Dude, go dump him to the Pistons. Why not? Just get him out of there.
Right.
Give him to Charlotte. Get some picks from Charlotte, and just keep it moving. I don't know though.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
Yeah, my hope is that he has. My hope is that he has a little bit more juice in the tank, that he actually has something to give. Because being a Royals fan, baseball, Kansas City Royals fan, they had this really bad habit of going after players like the equivalent of a Jimmy Butler towards the end of the career, thinking that they were going to have a renaissance and be really, really great. And I just hope that he has enough in the tank that it matters. And I hope he gets a shot to go deep in the playoffs, because man, when that guy's in the playoffs, man, he's a dog.
Oh yeah.
So I hope he gets a chance to have a playoff run, because that would actually be enjoyable.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes.
Yeah, I was reading about when they were in the finals, like when they were in Denver, most guys stay with the team or even their stars, maybe a different hotel, but he was in some mansion 30 miles away, in Denver or Boulder or something like that. And it's like, just in Miami typically doesn't allow that,
Yeah.
so they've given him more and more room and it just hasn't been enough because it's Jimmy Butler, I mean, as great as he can be, man, he is super toxic.
Yeah.
So for me, that begs the question: if I'm a GM, do I risk 2 years of great Jimmy? Because what is he, 37 almost or something like that?
Yeah, he's in his upper 30s. Yeah.
To
Is he really? I thought he's mid-30s.
I think he's younger.
Not well, like 36. 30, he's 35. I thought he was 36, 37. Okay. That was putting the upper.
Yeah. So maybe 3 years of Jimmy to but 3 years in NBA world is an eternity if you can get a guy that gives you a good opportunity to make it to the finals and make you relevant. So it's just that risk reward.
He just turned 35 in September.
It's also a lot of money. I mean, he's going to command $35 to $45 million in his next contract per year. I mean, it's still a lot of money too. And that second apron does him no favors. I mean, he like Josh and Trey said, I mean, he may have to go to a team that is, he may have to go back to Philly. He may have to go to a Detroit. He may have to go to a team if he wants to get paid and that's his thing. Great. That's where he may have to go. If he wants to win, he'll have to decline it and restructure and actually take less money. But from the sounds of it, that's not what Jimmy Butler wants.
Yeah.
It still always blows me away, man. Those guys had more money than they could ever spend. And when you just want to win at this point, like, man, I just want to make a run, try to win.
Yeah.
I want to be part of a rebuild. I don't know. It's easy for me to say that sitting in my seat, but if you got that much money, dude, just go
win a chip, man. That's really what he needs for his career now at this point. He's pretty close, almost single-handedly, but yeah.
And there's some teams he could go win it with, right? I mean, if you put him on the Grizzlies, he could probably go win a chip. You put him on a couple of these teams, he could go win a chip.
Yeah.
Hey,
Can you imagine Butler in New York with the Knicks? Can you imagine him going there? That would be
Tibbs.
I'd
with Tibbs.
I'd like to see him in the Big Apple. I think he would enjoy that spotlight, being on a championship team and playing the Garden in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Too many mouths to feed, man. Not going to be a fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too many already.
The biggest thing is making it a fit. It's got to be a fit. Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned Memphis, so have you guys really paid much attention to like where they're at offensively and how they move the ball and they're getting up and down the court and it's kind of crazy. They're not copying, what everybody else is doing, pick and roll, throw it to the corner. They're actually a unique offense within the NBA. So they're fun to watch.
I love their style of play. I mean, I love the way that they play. I mean, some of these teams you watch them, and man, I wish that the teams I played on back in the day played that way. Just getting up and down the floor, taking the first great open look, moving the ball well. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan.
I forget the guy's name, but I was a deep dive on their offense because they have a guy from Europe that is an assistant coach that came in. All he did over in Europe was win. And his big move is the Iverson cut. So just kind of a straight, it's almost like a flare screen, but without it. But just gets the offense moving. You guys I'll have to figure out who it was. I forgot his name, but he's got an Instagram page and everything. It was pretty cool, and just kind of doing their own brand rather than cookie cutter. And I saw an article where Draymond was like, they don't do what everybody else does. It's hard to. The movements aren't the same, so it's unique. I mean, people will catch up to it eventually, but it's nice to see some, actually.
It reminds me of the Warriors when they started, their offense. Like it was very unique and very different. A lot more motion. Ball movement was just unheard of. I mean, they were making 12 passes in 10 seconds. It seemed like they were just pop, 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 pop. Quick touches, and it's neat to see a team find their identity and just play their ball. I think the best coaches are the ones that can really take players and just put them in a position to be great. And I feel like building around Ja Morant, they've really just kind of taken on that personality, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I've never seen Ja Morant in person. I would love to see Ja Morant in person. And listen, Josh, this might be something that you and I have to do for sure because Memphis is in between Nashville and St. Louis.
I'm game.
We may have to go and do that. Tell me, where are you out of again? Are you in Chicago? Where are you?
I'm in Houston, but you know what?
You're
If
in
you
Houston,
make,
okay.
if you go to
Memphis
Memphis,
isn't too far.
I might drive.
That's not
down.
too far. That's not too
from now.
far.
I'd make the drive to go.
We need you to
down.
fly in for a Memphis game, man. I think a Memphis game would be great. Who does Memphis got coming up? We need to make this happen, dude.
Yeah,
I saw
that'd be
Ja
fun.
actually. I went and saw the Lakers play. So his rookie year, he was playing about half the game. So what was that? Was that 2020, right before COVID?
He came out in 19, right? Wasn't he in the 19 draft?
Yeah. 19,
Yeah,
I think, was Zion.
Damn, was he
Yeah,
really
so,
19?
I remember because
Yeah.
my sister.
I'll
lives
never forget. Oh, keep going. Keep talking. Sorry.
My sister lives in San Diego, so we rode. So I flew down there. We rode the train up to LA, and I'm sitting there, and we had a return ticket, and I'm like, we ain't making the train, and I ain't leaving in the third quarter of an NBA game because I think we had decent seats, and they were like $400, at a Laker game.
Yeah, you're not leaving that.
So
Okay, so Houston
Uber.
plays Memphis January 30th. Just throwing that out there.
In Houston or Memphis?
In Memphis. January 30th. Josh?
Yeah, that might be low.
There's a lot of good games. Suns played them twice. Cavs, Thunder, Hawks.
Yep. Suns are February 25th. Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Look past middle of March for me.
Oklahoma City, March 5th.
Ooh,
March
Warriors
5th, Oklahoma
April
City?
1st.
March 5th, Oklahoma City in Memphis.
Yeah.
That would be really good. That'd be really good.
For me to make it have to be probably after March 15th.
All right.
All right. We may have to take this offline and throw out
We'll
some
take this to the
ideas
group
here.
chat.
Exactly.
That would be a blast. That would be
That'd
a
be
lot
awesome.
of fun. We need to make that happen. That's the game. We're going to a Memphis game. We're doing that. We're going to a Memphis game. All right.
Memphis games are
Let's do
fun.
it.
I've been to a few. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a blast. All right, we're going to work on that. We may have to do the Houston game, just the three of us. We may just have to pull that one off. That's going to be a good one.
That'd be fun.
Those are two top three teams in the West right now.
Yeah. That would be good.
Houston's still sleeping on everybody. Everybody's sleeping on Houston. My bad.
Yeah, exactly. So any other trades you guys want to see, or you're thinking that somebody that's actually going to make a trade? Tommy, you got one?
The Bulls, man. That's all I care about. Blow it up. Get rid of Zach LaVine. Get rid of Nikola Vucevic.
Sell it off.
Trade the team. Sell it off. Listen, I will take second-round picks into 2031, 2032 for Zach LaVine. One pick. That's all we need. Just get him out.
Tommy,
Get rid of
can't,
him.
dude. You guys are in the 10 spot. You guys are in the play-in, and you're also.
I don't care.
Games.
I want to be at the 15 spot at like one more win for the season.
No, you gotta keep going.
No, I'd rather trade the whole team and get Cooper Flag and build around him.
Everybody's talking about Cooper Flag, but everybody's missing on the kid at Rutgers. I honestly was not aware about the kid at Rutgers. Dylan Harper.
Yeah, yep. Ron Harper's kid.
They're actually saying that he's got a very good chance to just be the number one pick because of he's I guess just dominating as a freshman. He's a 6'6" guard and just uses his body well and just
he's a lefty too, isn't he?
I think he's a lefty, yeah. So I haven't gotten to watch any of his games live or whatnot, but he's snuck up there to where I saw multiple kids being interviewed asking hey, who's the top player in college, and they were all saying you can't not say Dylan Harper because he's dropping 30 on people.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit too. And a 6'6" guard has good length. They can pretty much, they don't get they're not undersized. So it's just frustrating, guys, because you guys still can't even name the top 3 picks from last year, and the Hawks got the number 1 pick. And if only the Hawks could just have the number 1 pick this year, life would be great. They could get, I don't care if they get Dylan Harper or Cooper Flag, either one of them. But you guys still cannot pronounce the name of the number 1 pick from last year. And that's bad enough. There we go. Here we go.
I've watched enough Hawks games this season to at least know that now.
There we go. Yeah, man.
Speaking of the Hawks, Trey's been what are they? Their last 10.
I'm not looking at it right now. I'm looking at tickets.
The Hawks are still in the 7th spot. They're 6-4 last.
Trey has locked into tickets. He doesn't care now.
Yeah,
dude. Listen, hey, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. I mean, does this view look good to you guys? Does this work? Because I'm ready to buy. I'm ready to buy.
What day is
$71? January 30th, $71. You know,
Dude, Trey,
just saying.
This is in 13 days.
What's the problem? You got a problem with that? Is that a
That's
problem?
right before Manifest. That's right before Manifest too.
It's 2 weeks before Manifest. Manifest.
Yeah,
is
I'm flying out the
Oh,
next
it's
day
against
to
the 10th.
Vegas.
Yeah, you're
so-
right. You're right.
Trey, who's this against?
That's against Houston.
That one's Houston. Okay.
Yeah, this is Houston.
Do they have one on the weekend?
I'll check.
It'd
Dude,
be
I'm
easy
locked
for
in. You guys talk
and
about what you want.
It'd be easy for you and I to skate over there because you and I are like 3 hours away.
True.
We'll talk.
That'd be easy.
Yeah,
It'd be super easy.
get it going.
We're just gonna become Memphis Grizzlies fans over here.
Right.
Might be the case. I might be walking out with a jersey or something.
Yeah,
Right.
they're a fun team
Rough.
to cheer for.
I could
One
see
of those
you,
big fingers.
Zach Edey jersey. You know,
No, I would totally get a John Morant jersey. There's no way I'm getting a Zach Edey jersey. No offense. No offense. I'm not doing that.
Oh man.
Oh
No.
shit.
Not doing that.
yeah,
Not doing that.
that would be fun. That would be so
All right.
much
Yeah. There's weekend games. All right. I'm on this. I'm on the hunt here.
There you go.
I'm gonna make this work.
Um,
And I could care less about trades. I'm not a big thing. I don't think GM. I just think of the games. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
so
No idea.
let's talk about some of these like teams and players that are just not being discussed, but these guys are in the mix. So I am still super impressed that the Magic are in the 5th spot in the East with all the injuries that they've had this year. I think they started the year in the 2 or 3 spot, if I'm not mistaken, when we were first doing a lot of these. So the fact that I think Paolo's healthy again, and then I don't think Franz is healthy quite yet, but I mean, those guys, they'll probably only climb. And then, man, like you can't not hate on James Harden and what he's doing with the Clippers. They're actually relevant again now at this point. Like
They're in the 5th
he's
spot,
still
too.
there, man. He's still knocking, and they're
Yep.
they're not, they're in the 5th spot. They're not going to be an easy out in the playoffs. Like of course, James Harden in the playoffs is almost the opposite of Jimmy Butler, but shoot, man.
Well, again, this goes back to like how playoff basketball is played. It's not played typically from behind the 3-point line with finesse and these kind of moves. Like people D up a little bit more in the playoffs, and you got to work harder for those baskets. From the outside.
What you're saying right there, Trey, is exactly why I'm so curious about OKC, and the reason being is because SGA is a free throw line magnet, and in the playoffs, you're just not going to get as many of those calls, and he's probably not going to get to the line as much.
He can still finish, though. That's the thing. I mean, he just goes by people that are just. It's like what's coming, and he still goes by you.
Can't stop it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like that is. I mean, that is like soul sucking. As a defender.
Man. Nothing you can do. Yeah, he's fast, he's quick, slippery, whatever, and he uses his body really well. He's tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love that I could see what Trey's because you got your screens. I could see like Trey's.
Yeah, you can see him
going all.
I'm doing research. Yeah. I want to look up some of their team stats. I'm trying to see it kind of.
Go ahead and bring your picks up, Trey. Let me see those.
Yeah, Trey. Let's see those picks for next week.
Take a look.
Yeah, go back and watch this.
Sorry, guys. No, not happening.
Yeah,
not happening.
Man, I saw a video really quick about players and taking care of themselves. So I saw a video of Marcus Smart because he's still on the Grizzlies, and it looked like Marcus Smart put on a couple of LBs. But man, did anybody recently see Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the Saints suit up?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see the game. I knew he was, but I didn't watch the game. I knew he was.
He looks like Eddie Lacy 2.0.
Really?
You gotta go look him up. I didn't even know it was him.
Wow. Was he just overweight or did he add muscle?
No, he didn't. It didn't look like he added muscle. It looked like he hadn't been training at all.
Yeah,
I'm sure he hasn't.
He's kind of like more of a tiny.
He's like
guy. I feel like he's 2 years removed from getting meaningful minutes in the NFL.
Yeah,
he's like the bus, man. Like he's probably just letting the weight come on.
Dude, the bus is massive. I've seen him in person at a Georgia Tech game. He's large. Like I would have hated to be a defender in front of that guy.
Well, Derrick Henry just amazes me still to this day. Just that guy is so fast and so strong. It's crazy.
That's wild.
I know.
It's really, yeah.
Oh yeah.
His
really
stiff
wild.
arm is vicious, man. He had a pretty sick one that last game.
It was a triple stiff arm. Let's call it what it really was. I mean, he got the same guy 3 times, and ran past him to the end zone. Like that's hard to stop, man. You got to go for his legs. You can't go up high against him. You got to go for his legs and hope you don't get a knee to the helmet.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be a tough out.
What other teams you looking at, Josh? You were talking about Clips, Magic.
Pacers too. I don't think that they've had the hottest start to the. They didn't have the hottest start to the year because what's his name? Halliburton just really wasn't playing like Halliburton did last year, and I don't know if that's just teams figuring him out or if it was more of a mental thing for him. But, they still ended up going far last year. They still made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's just I feel like it's still crazy to see the balance of power between East to West because all the way in the West, even going through the 11th spot, like I don't think you'd want to say, oh, I want to play any of those teams in a first round or in a play-in. And then in the East, I like the Hawks, but like, man, after, going into the 7th spot there, I mean, all the play-in teams and everything, I don't think you really see any of them as a threat.
No.
Yeah, you're not concerned about the Bulls at this point. Like you're not like, oh man, we don't want to face them.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you want
76ers.
You want the Bulls.
Yeah.
You want the Bulls.
Right.
You
I mean,
want
it's
the
like-
first round match.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Heat depends. I mean, they're kind of wishy-washy a little bit, but like, yeah, you're right. I mean, and that's I think historically the case. Like the East always feels like it had kind of the weaker side of the draw after the kind of Jordan era. Because the Jordan era, I mean, I think the East was the toughest. You always felt like the winner of the East was going to win the finals, and it happened a lot. But like, that's not the case. I mean, when LeBron came in the league, it seemed like the East just became like not as difficult. There was definitely a shift around that 2005, 2006 era.
And you've got Dallas and Minnesota, which Dallas and Minnesota, they were conference finals last year, weren't they? They're in the 7 and 8 spot right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That actually surprises me. I would not have expected both of them to be in one of those positions. I would have expected one of them to be a little bit higher up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy stuff.
I
Well,
have no idea.
we're getting kind of close to the end. I know Trey's got what else you guys got for the good of this episode.
We got Michael
all right.
Lombard coming on the show. Lombard Trucking. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead. I'll finish later.
You guys really quick. Let's just go around the horn. I know the game's not for a while, but who's going to be your all-star MVP? Just give me one. Jot them down now. You guys got to call it a little early.
Ooh.
I'm going SGA.
Okay. Got SJ
Donovan
for Kale.
Mitchell.
Kale, you want to jot these down for us as a reminder?
You said Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm knowledgeable enough to make a pick on who I think is going to be. Is All-Star picked by the fans?
He's saying MVP
is that
of the
right?
game, right?
Just MVP of the game. Who do you think's going to?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of like who's going to be in the game. I'm just thinking through.
It's
Well,
a
then,
three-way
most
vote.
players.
You got players, you got fans, and you got media. And I forget the split of how they decided, but
Hmm.
I want to say like 60% fans or something like that.
I don't know that I have a pick right now.
Come on,
You
Trey. Who's
lost.
on top of your
Was it?
Who's on top of your mind? You could say Tyrese Martin from the Brooklyn Nets. You could say anybody. I'm so glad we know
I'm
who
not going
Tyrese Martin is now, man. This is great.
I'm not going that
Learning
direction.
stuff.
All right, I'm gonna stick with the man of the show, in my opinion, which is I'm gonna go with John Morant.
I think that's a good pick. He'd actually probably be my more realistic pick. I'm gonna pick Wemby.
Yeah, that's a good pick too.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
crazy thing is like it's almost like predestined. Like, if there's a storyline around a guy coming in and they just feed him the ball, because anybody could win the MVP of that game, right?
Anybody can. That's why it's so
Yeah.
tricky to pick. Like Westbrook.
Yeah.
Prime Westbrook was like
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's gonna make a triple double in the All-Star game. I mean, that's how do you not pick
Yeah.
that?
Did you guys,
So-
before we go, did you see him he was cracking the Rockets bench up the other day?
Yes, that was
Jalen
funny.
Green was
I
giving
did
him a hard
not see
time.
that.
It was good. Jalen Green was talking shit to him, and then Westbrook just looks at the Rockets bench and is talking to Ime Udoka, and he's like, he's talking all this shit, man. And this kid used to be on my AAU team because Westbrook's got his own AAU team. And he's like, now he's just talking all this shit now. So yeah, it's funny.
I know. Awesome.
Look that up.
All right. So give your pitch for Word on the Street. What do you got? Michael Lombard.
So we got Michael Lombard on the show this week. We're also doing a Manifest ticket giveaway. So all people have to do is watch the show live, make a comment, and they're entered into a drawing that we're going to do on January 31st to give away a ticket to Manifest, $2,000 ticket. So we're excited about that. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that Michael Lombard is doing around fitness. We're going to talk about the California wildfires and where that all is at. Obviously, inaugurations next week. So that changes everything with government, with regulation, with policy. We'll see what happens with that and how it affects the supply chain. We got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about, man.
You see, with Carb has already like dropped their stuff. That's crazy with the new administration.
It's wild, yeah. Some of the influences and things that are happening. It's what's it going to mean for the industry, for regulatory policy, for shipping rates. What's going to happen with broker transparency. What's going to happen with all these things that are happening. We have Ken Riddle, who came to the Broker Care Summit and gave an update last time. We're hoping to have him back in his team, which is exciting to hear from them. We're going to have TIA at BCS to talk about an update from a broker perspective and advocacy. We're trying to get OIDA and some other carrier ones as well. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Inauguration, I think, is Monday. Is it Monday, Tuesday? Next week, Monday? I can't remember what day it is. But it's going to change some things. We'll see what happens with that. But Michael Lombard's the best, man. The dude's awesome. So
when's Manifest? Because I might actually be in Vegas already for that.
Manifest is February 10 through 12. 10 through 12.
I'm down there like the 31st through the 2nd. So a week.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks away. Pretty much. 3 weeks. I guess 3 weeks away at this point. 3 weeks away.
I'm going to drop a comment. I'm going to try to win that free ticket.
I know
you should, man. Absolutely. Jump in there and enjoy the show. We'll be you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We'll be on there. But throw a comment in there. You'll be entered to win. And we're going to do the drawing at the end of the show on January 31st, which is a Friday. So
cool.
Do I have to throw in a strategic comment, or can it can just be any comment?
You can throw in any comment you want. You can make fun of us. You can ask a question. It will not impact your chances to win. It will not impact it at all, whatever you say. So whatever you want to put in there is fine. But yeah, we're going to have fun with that and have a good time. Of course, Street Crew is great, and it'll be good.
Awesome.
Right, sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. Well, thanks, Jens. Fun show.
See you guys on the flip-flop. Peace out.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.